Living with my mother-in-law has created a rift in what was once a blissful marriage. My husband, without consulting me, abruptly decided that we should all live together, despite knowing the challenges I face in getting along with her. I find it hard to forgive him for this unilateral decision. I can't simply accept things as they are now. Leaving this house feels like my only option. My name is Sarah, and I'm 28 years old. I've been married to Jake for nearly 3 years. We met at a social gathering, dated for 2 years, and quickly married. We connected instantly due to our shared hobbies, and our relationship swiftly led to marriage. However, there's one issue that continues to trouble me. My husband consistently prioritizes his mother over me. His parents divorced during his childhood, and he was raised in a single-parent household by his mother. Having spent so much time living with her, he holds her opinions in high regard, believing them to be unquestionably correct. Just the other day, right before we were about to head out, my husband dropped a bombshell. "Sorry, Sarah, Mom just texted me. She wants to go shopping. Come with me." Wait, what? We were supposed to buy new dishes today. Oh, sorry. Mom really insisted. I don't care. We planned this a week ago. But you can pick out the dishes yourself, right? Mom can't shop alone. Even so, isn't it strange to prioritize your mom like this? Sorry again. Can you stop making a fuss? Just go by yourself, Sarah. With that, he hurried out of the house. What on earth was that? We had plans first, and he just chose his mom over me. I couldn't believe it. In the end, I had to go alone, and I was in a terrible mood. As I wandered through the stores by myself, a text from my mother-in-law popped up. It was a picture of a delicious cake with a message. "Jake treated me." I couldn't help but groan aloud. My mother-in-law has never been fond of me, and she intentionally sends me pictures of her and Jake happily spending time together on days like this. More texts from her kept appearing on my phone, making me even more irritated. Reflecting on it now, Jake is an amazing husband except for the mother-in-law issue. Whenever she's involved, he becomes a source of frustration. I've never liked how she tries to undermine our relationship at every opportunity. Looking back, it seems like she may have been bullying me from the beginning, even before we got married. When we went to his mother's house to announce our engagement, she scrutinized me. "Sarah, where did you get that dress?" "Oh, just at a department store sale." It looks rather shabby. It doesn't suit my son at all." "I'm sorry." Instead of stopping her rude comments, Jake laughed and said, "Mom, you're being tough." I understood he cherished his mother, having grown up in a single-parent household. But I wished he would defend me a little when she was criticizing me right in front of him. Looking back, I realize I should have reconsidered the marriage at that moment. Those thoughts haunted me every day. Then one day, during my work break, I noticed several missed calls from Jake on my phone. I quickly called him back, and after a few rings, he answered. "Jake, is everything okay?" "Sarah, something terrible has happened." "What happened?" "Mom collapsed." "What? Your mom collapsed?" "Yes, I need you to leave work and come to her house now." Wait, shouldn't she be at the hospital if she collapsed? But before I could get more details, Jake abruptly ended the call. "Jake, wait, why are you asking me to come home? Shouldn't we take her to the hospital?" Despite my confusion, I rushed straight to my mother-in-law's house. When I arrived, I found her peacefully snoring in the living room. "You're late. Why did you come home earlier?" Jake scolded me in a hushed voice, his brows furrowed. Feeling somewhat taken aback, I replied, "I couldn't help it, Jake. There are train schedules to consider. I heard she collapsed, so I came here as soon as I could." "Huh? Aren't you worried about my mother? She just managed to fall asleep." "Well, what you want me to do?" Feeling increasingly frustrated with Jake's attitude, I pressed him. "Is it okay to leave your mother at home like this? Shouldn't we take her to the hospital?" "She's fine. I put a pain relief patch on her." "Wait, a pain relief patch? She tripped and hurt her back, and you just put a patch on her?" "Yeah, she couldn't do it herself, so she called me." "So she didn't collapse at all? She just fell and hurt her back?" "What's with that attitude?" Jake snapped, his face flushing with anger. "You're making it sound like my mom is exaggerating." "Well, it's just a minor fall, isn't it? When you say someone collapsed, normally you think it's something serious. That's you jumping to conclusions. Don't blame me for that." I shouldn't have had to leave work early for this. Did you really need to call me? I had to come up with an excuse to leave work early during our busiest season, and you made it sound urgent. As I let my frustration out, Jake sighed, clearly annoyed. You know, Sarah, you don't seem to care about my mom at all, do you? Every time I bring her up, you get this sour look on your face. It's really rude as a wife. Excuse me, what are you trying to blame me for now? No, that's not it. A normal wife should care for her husband's mother, right? I can't sense even a shred of that intention from you, Sarah. Oh, come on. I've told you countless times, your mother has disliked me from the day we got married. She's always finding fault with me. How am I supposed to feel inclined to take care of her? What do you mean? She deliberately reached out to you on a day we had plans. It's obviously intentional. My mom is tough on you, Sarah, because she doesn't see you as a suitable daughter-in-law. What? Seriously? How can he think like that? Doesn't he see his mother's behavior for what it is? Despite our arguments, we couldn't find common ground. Soon after, my mother-in-law woke up and started complaining to me. Sarah, it's so heartless of you not to be concerned when I fell. No, I rushed over here because I was worried, but you seemed fine. Excuse me. How can you say that? I fell and hurt my back. But you just fell, right? Saying you collapse is a bit exaggerated. Stop being so rude. This is why I can't stand sarcastic women. I should never have approved of you marrying Jake. Hearing my mother-in-law's words stirred more anger than sadness within me. I wanted to leave their house as quickly as possible and swiftly made my exit. Later, checking my phone, I found a text from Jake. I'm staying here for a while. I'm worried about Mom. Instead of showing concern for me, he was still focused on his mother during such a time. I felt utterly disgusted with him. Without replying, I simply went to bed. Days passed, and he still didn't return home. A week later, just as I was enjoying some solitude, I received a call from Jake. Could it be an apology? I hadn't reached out to him at all, and perhaps Jake had finally realized his mistakes. With these thoughts in mind, I answered the phone, only to hear an unexpected response from Jake. Hey Sarah, is that you? Yeah, it's been a while. What's going on? Well, I've been talking to Mom and thought I should let you know. Huh? What did you talk about? Mom is going to move in with us. What? Caught off guard, my mind went blank. Trying to process the news, I managed to respond. Wait a minute, she's moving in. You mean she'll be living with us? Yeah, after her fall, we're worried something else might happen, so we decided it would be best for her to live with us. Hold on, are you serious? I can't live with her. What do you mean you can't? Don't you care about Mom? It's not that. How many times do I have to explain? I know I'll be constantly criticized if we live together. Jake, you understand, right? Are you really going through with this? And you've already arranged everything without even discussing it with me. Can you at least handle it? What? Wait, it's not. Well, take care of it. Jake abruptly hung up, leaving me seething with frustration. He went ahead and arranged everything. This wasn't a joke. Why am I, his wife, being ignored in this decision? There's no way I'm agreeing to live like this. With determination, I began packing my things, preparing to leave this house to escape Jake's selfishness and my mother-in-law's interference. At this point, I couldn't see any other option. The next day, the doorbell rang, and a large shipment of my mother-in-law's belongings arrived. Just then, as if on cue, Jake's call came in. Hello, Sarah, is that you? What? I'm quite busy right now. Are you still upset about yesterday? I'm not upset, or rather, I don't care anymore. Good, that's a relief then. While I struggled to contain my irritation towards my inattentive husband, he continued, by the way, all of Mom's stuff that I sent yesterday has already arrived. It arrived. Ash finished sending my things to my parents' house. Huh? Your parents' house? In response to his confusion, I explained briefly. I'm moving back to my parents. If you want to live with your mom, go ahead and do it yourself. Hey, you're joking, right? What are you talking about? This is serious, Jake. It's unacceptable to decide on living arrangements without discussing it first. And why should I stay if you're making decisions like this? Who's going to take care of the house when you're both busy? Stop talking nonsense. You always do this. Mom is upset too, you know. Let her be upset if she wants. I stand by my decision. My firm stance seemed to anger Jake even more. He shouted louder than I had ever heard him. Don't be ridiculous. You're my wife. Just listen and follow through, you idiot. Who else am I talking to? Fine, whatever. I'll stay at my parents' until things settle down. When you're ready to apologize sincerely to me and Mom, come back. If you're genuine, we'll forgive you. Bye." With that, he hung up abruptly. He didn't think he was wrong at all. Instead, he continued to prioritize his mom above all else. Frustrated with my husband, I packed my suitcase and returned to my parents' house. A few hours later, the phone rang again. It was my husband. "What? I'm busy right now. What's going on here?" From his tone, I could tell he was shaken. Suppressing my satisfaction, I asked, "What do you mean? What happened?" "When I got home, everything was gone. Your belongings." "I suspected as much." "You suspected? Weren't you just going to your parents for a few days?" "Did you really believe that?" "Sorry, but I'm not planning to come back." "What? This is unbelievable. What do I tell Mom?" "I said you'd handle everything." "Not my problem. Why don't you tell your mother the truth?" "I messed up, upset my wife, and she left me." "How could I say such a thing?" "Come back right now. Don't act on your own." "Don't act on my own? You were the one who suggested your mom move in without discussing it with me. Don't try to shift the blame now." "Oh!" Jake was at a loss for words as I shouted over the phone. Jake, who always belittled me and sided with his mother, I can't forgive him anymore. I'll address all the grievances I've been holding. "Jake, what do you take me for? I'm not here to serve you and your mother, nor am I a plaything. Your actions aren't always acceptable." Hey, Sarah, calm down." "Shut up. You've never really listened to me. It's too much to expect me to go along with whatever you want now. I won't take care of you or your mother. I'd rather be single." "Don't talk like that. I don't want a divorce. I don't care what you think anymore. I'm tired of being manipulated by both of you. Figure things out yourselves. I'm done. Stay out of my life. You and your mother can handle things on your own, you foolish pair." "Wait, Sarah." Ignoring Jake's calls, I angrily hung up the phone. I headed straight to a lawyer's office to start the divorce proceedings. After some time, the divorce was finalized. Once I left, Jake reluctantly started living with his mother alone. However, without anyone to handle the household chores, they began to argue, straining their once close relationship. As for me, after the divorce, I decided to move out of the family home. I rented an apartment close to work and focused on advancing in my career. I was rewarded with a promotion and a salary increase. Now, I find fulfillment in my work. Breaking free from that mother-son duo was the right decision for me. I'm determined to live life on my own terms from now on.